So the study of energy interconversion is known as thermodynamics. Dalam thermodynamics ni, I think kita pun dah pernah jumpa what is thermodynamic before. Masa dulu matrix ada dalam syllabus form 6, of course definitely ada. Siapa yang ambil diploma, kalau yang ada related, you've seen this before. This is not something alien, not something new lah. So for thermodynamic ni, we have two types. Basically, we have two idea of what is law of thermodynamics. Who knows, nanti later on bila you pursue your further study ke, you kerja ke, whatever, you might encounter another, or you yourself encounter another law of thermodynamics. So as for now, ada dua law of thermodynamics. Number one is about energy cannot be created or destroyed. Tak boleh dicipta, tidak boleh dimusnahkan. That is law of thermodynamic, the first law. Tetapi it can be transferred from one place to another or from one type to another. Boleh pindah tempat, boleh pindah rupa. So that is the idea of first law of thermodynamics. Cannot be created, cannot be destroyed. Yesterday, I asked the group. Semalam saya tanya sekumpulan tu kan. Kalaulah kata, ni just asking, just nak trigger pemikiran je lah. Kalau tenaga ni, dalam dunia ni, tak boleh create and we cannot destroy, it can only be transferred. So maksudnya tenaga di dunia ni constant ke? Tidak. Kalau tak constant, sebab tenaga tak boleh destroy. Tak boleh cipta baru. We cannot create new energy. We cannot destroy the energy. But it can only be transfer. Bermakna kalau total semua energy di dunia ni, sama lah. Constant lah maksudnya. I'm just asking you questions saja. So it can trigger you something. Boleh tak maksudnya? Katakan tenaga, for convenient lah. Tenaga ada 10 je nilai dia. Contoh So dia boleh sama ada tukar bentuk, pindah tempat. Tapi still 10. That is something that trigger my mind too. Tak apa, itu tak masuk dalam syllabus pun. Tapi dia termasuk dalam bagaimana memikirkan bahan. Memikirkan sesuatu bahan. Okay, the next one. Second law of thermodynamics, ini entropy. Ini pun semua dah biasa dengar. Entropy ni is about every time some transformation happens, from one form to another, it will increase the degree of disorder of a system. Meningkatkan degree of disorder tu apa? Disorder lah. So that is entropy. That is second law. Apa maksud increase the disorder tu? Increase of disorder tu macam ni lah contohnya. It start from satu molekul besar tadi tu. Katakan ini starch. Hinggalah dia menjadi glucose. No longer in terms of bond tersusun, ikatan-ikatan dia, it become disorder. Because of energy transfer. Tengok macam starch tadi tu, actually contoh lah yang tadi tu, contoh yang hijau tu starch lah, contoh je lah. So from that structure, from that morph, it becomes glucose with less energy and then lebih disorder. Lebih is not in order. More disorder. Lebih banyak tak tersusun. The degree become higher. Degree of disorder become higher. So when we go through that catabolism. So idea of this whole thing can be explained through the law of thermodynamics again, where kita tahu bahawa apa saja yang kita buat tu, whatever yang kita buat needs energy. Itu nombor satu. Whatever we do, whatever we move, whatever the metabolism inside the body, we need energy. Perlu tenaga. That amount of tenaga yang diperlukan tu is called Gibbs free energy. Tenaga yang memang ada so that we can do work. Tenaga yang memang ada so that kita akan boleh guna untuk melakukan kerja. However, the reaction of catabolism, it actually is defined as negative delta G. Negative delta G. What is negative delta G? Meaning that this is known as exergonic. Exergonics means what? They akan release energy. They akan release energy. So, kalau tengok statement kat sini, reaction with that negative delta G, release energy, proceed spontaneously, are called exergonic. Spontaneously ni is not related to lawak spontan ataupun bercakap secara spontan ataupun pantun secara spontan. Bukan maksud yang tu. Spontaneous in law of thermodynamics is related to energy release. It's related to energy release. It will release the energy. Any catabolism will release the energy. And then on the other side, or the anabolism, it will require energy. We call it not spontaneous, meaning that it require energy to do such activity. Maksudnya from more disorder to less disorder ni, from glucose nak jadi balik kepada starch ni, it needs energy to hold, to create that bond. Perlukan tenaga. That is known as endergonic reaction. So satu lagi, kalau tingkatan 4 nanti, kalau you mengajar form 4, dia ada topik, form 4 ke? Form 4 lah. Dia ada topik ni. Form 4 pula. Form 3. Form 3 dia ada topik hypothermic. Hypothermic pula. Endothermic. Endothermic dengan apa lagi satu? Endothermic.
Exothermic.
Exothermic. Yang tu itu nanti pun form 3 ke? Saya form 3 lah, syllabus form 3 tu. Nanti you ada masa cuba buka huraian sukatan pelajaran. Tengok balik topik-topik apa ya. Benda-benda ni semua akan you ajar nanti. Form 3. So saya tengok latihan mengajar minggu lepas tu, dia ajar yang tu. Okay, dia ajar form 3. Okay. That is idea of law of thermodynamics. The second one is also to give you the insight of exergonic reaction and endergonic reaction using this graph lah. Selalu ni famous lah graph ni kan. Saintis ni dah nak fancy sikit nampak macam graph ni. Oh, cool. So, okay. Endergonic reaction ni contoh which metabolism? Endergonic reaction. Anabolism ke catabolism? Anabolism atau catabolism?
Catabolism.
Anabolism ke catabolism?
Probably.
Kita tengok macam ni Sebelum jawab kita tengok macam ni. Okay, reactant energy dia banyak ni. Kemudian energy makin tinggi lah. Berarti kalau makin tinggi berarti kita require energy untuk menghasilkan produk. What is the process that require energy to produce product? What is the catabolism? What is the metabolism that require energy?
Catabolism.
Require energy. Anabolism. Is anabolism. So, endergonic is anabolism. Bila kita tengok graf ni, ini paksi Y free energy, paksi X cost of reaction. Kita tengok reactant energy dia kat sini. Oh, reactant energy kat sini. Tetapi kita tengok, as the reaction berlaku, sepanjang reaction berlaku, tenaga makin diperlukan. Makin naik tenaga free energy, banyak tenaga. Hinggalah menghasilkan produk. So, bila satu tu yang memerlukan tenaga, something that require energy, itu ialah anabolism. We know that maybe kita ada satu micro ataupun mono molecules, monosaccharide ke, akhirnya kita akan dapat structure of yang lebih less disorder lah. Okay, that is anabolism. So that is endergonic. For this one, nampak ni non-spontaneous, berarti they require energy. Spontaneous here means, of course, you start with reactant, kita tengok, energy dah berkurang untuk menghasilkan produk. Energy dah berkurang. Amount of energy is minus berarti ada pembebasan tenaga. You start from here, tolak tenaga tu. Masa katakan ni 10, hasilkan produk, katakan contoh nak bagi senang cerita kan. So ni 10 tinggal 5. Berarti dia tolak negatif 5. Dia tolak 5. Dia buang energy. Maksudnya kita akan dapat energy from this process. the release of energy tu. So that is what we call from free energy reactant to produce product. That is exergonic. Nak senang ingat, you ingat ni je. Ni exit ataupun release energy. Dia keluarkan energy. So that is some tips lah untuk memudahkan kita. Kadang-kadang kita kena hafal sikit lah. So from there kita ambil cue daripada apa-apa yang kita tengok tu, kita boleh dapat idea lah. So that is to show you how energy dihasilkan ataupun energy bukan dihasilkan, energy dibebaskan ataupun energy diperlukan. Okay, thank you.